All right, here we go. Career Conversations with Joe Terry, talking about everything culture. Today, we're going to talk about valuing different perspectives, right? So, we talk about being aligned around values and belief systems, but it doesn't mean you all have the same perspectives. It doesn't mean you don't have different points of view around those. You have a good, solid foundation, but you want to surround yourself with people who have different backgrounds, experiences, and perspectives. That's how you make everything stronger, including your culture, including your company or organization, is to have those varying perspectives, listen to them, take them into account, and together get like a 360-degree look at whatever it is you're talking about. That will help you make the right decisions going forward. So we're going to talk about this. I hope you enjoy it, get a lot of value out of it. And as always, let me know any comments and feedback you might have. Talking about our daily huddles through COVID, I had to tell my team, I need you to look out for how I'm going to behave during this time, because I absolutely know I care about everybody tremendously, but I get this mindset, kind of going back to the story I told, where I will hunker down and I will grind hard and I will bear and go through anything, right? The trouble with that as a leader, the head of the organization, not everybody, it's not the right thing to do all the time, by the way. Right. And not everybody can do that. Sometimes it is. Yeah. Having that grit is good, but I can sometimes almost get the blinders on and go so deep. And I said, I need you to stop me if that happens and say, we need to step back and kind of let people breathe a little bit, because this is a difficult time and there's challenges going on everywhere. And it's not that I don't care about those challenges or understand them or have empathy when I'm made aware of them, but when I get those blinders on, sometimes it's like I kind of tune them out for myself and for others. So I said, you need to bring me up out of that, because I don't want to cause any damage to do that. And I just asked him of that point blank to watch me on that, and again, together we got through it to make the decisions we needed to make through that. Yeah. Right. So our greatest strength sometimes can become, as you know, like our biggest weakness. That determination and grit and commitment out of control can become a weakness. And it's even funny, as we're talking about passion, that my chief marketing officer told me one time, such great advice he gave me one time. He said, we love your passion and intensity, and it's inspiring and it makes us want to follow you. And that's because I was waiting for it. But yeah, when you ratchet it up, when you really try to make a point and you try to go to the next level, it becomes too much for us. And now it starts to be a detriment. It quiets us down. It shuts us out. Like we don't like that. And people in the company don't like that. Like he said, you never have to turn it up a notch. You're already up there. Like you're already there. So when you think we really get into something, I want to really drive home a point. It's like, it's too much. My wife would say it's your tone. I don't like it. Like you're too intense. Like calm. And if you get too intense, you lose people. You got to calm it down, right? There's a certain level it's inspiring to follow you, and there's a level that's beyond. And so as a leader who cares about our people and our culture tremendously, I have to watch again that sort of blind spot, because that's when I'll trip over it. Then now all of a sudden it's not fun for anybody, right? Right. And so I have to be aware of that, or have people around me going, hey, you need to chill a little bit,
Yeah, that's great vulnerability right there, Ron. And I got a quick story around that, and we're now freestyling off our agenda.
But I knew it would happen too. I love it.
Yeah, but so I'm leading this company. This is a previous company. We're going hard, we're growing, and we're trying to get what we at Partners in Leadership call R2, which is your R1 are the results you're getting this year, that your R2 is like, okay, that next level, what's the 3 to 5 year bogey that we're going after. And so we as a team we're working, executive team, we're working on this, right? And I'm like, we got to go here, we got to do this, and we got to do that, and I'm going down my path, right?
You're right.
I'm just grinding.
Yeah.
And there was a part of it where there was a evaluation that people were doing, and we brought it to this meeting where we were trying to figure out what our next level results were. And the knock on me was from my own team, those are Joe's results. That's what Joe wants. And boy, Ron, did that rip my heart out. You know what I mean? But it was because I'm going, right?
Right. Right.
And everybody's just kind of coming along.
Right.
And I had to temper that to say, Joe, you're going out here and they're not there yet emotionally or mentally.
Yeah.
And they're not bought in. And that was a failure of me as a leader, because and we see this a lot in leaders where they're like, oh, my team is totally bought in on what I'm doing.
Right.
They know our 3 key results. Absolutely. And you go around the room and they're like, not in alignment at all.
That's right. Yeah. Yeah.
So then how can your company be in alignment?
Oh, yes. Right. Right.
Right. And so for me, that was a big wake up call. Cause again, I'm like you, I'm a passionate guy, and I'm like, wow, okay. And so the next time around in the next company I was in, I was very thoughtful about this. Right. And now even more so, that I'll be passionate about things, but I'm like, they have to own it, you know?
And I think that's so important, and it's in around keeping it simple and consistent, and that they can repeat it, they can own it, and that's how it permeates through the organization. You and I talked around the Jim Collins Flywheel concept, right, in his books, and then and something that I was working on around the Flywheel for Service Express, and it's around having those 4 or 5 key rocks, big rocks, or 3 to 5, whatever, there's no exact number, but the key things that you say, what are we focused on? What spins our flywheel? Meaning, as a company, what makes us go forward? And we're working through that as an executive team, and we sort of know it. It's a matter of putting the structure together to the team, because it's funny, because I said everybody put together their own flywheel, and then we got together with which ones do we have in common, and we had like 3 of them that were just about unanimous, and then the last 2 were kind of half or 3/4 of the team had one thing or had the other. So we were pretty close, but we're kind of wrestling around that. But we talked around the power of doing something like this, because you had asked me some key objectives that we were working on in the company. I think you'd asked Bill the morning before us, right? And it's a 2-minute conversation, and I could outline what we were doing. And your comment back to me that I've shared with the executive team around how important this is, your comment back to me was, I talk with so many CEOs and ask them that same question. You said, and I've had this happen myself, I get a 45-minute answer, and at the end of it, I still don't know what they're talking about.
Right.
And I was able to, and it helped that I was going through this exercise, but say, like, here's the things that we're going to do and focus on. And it was great for my team, by the way, that everybody had the first thing on the flywheel was hire and develop great talent. It was people first, culture number 1. Nothing spins without that first.
Yeah, and you told me a great story, or maybe it was more a statement, but if you have a story, I'd love to hear this, because I got really pumped up about it, because like I said, I talk with CEOs all the time, and it's this dissertation that goes round and round, and I have all these notes, and I go back and I'm like, okay, what is your top 3 again? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But you made the comment, which I loved, which was, look, everything we do, every decision we make, and every decision our employees make need to roll up. Does it support those
our 4 core objectives?
Yeah. So tell me that, because I remember. So give me some more meat on the bone on that, because I thought that was really powerful.
Yeah. So this is
walking the halls powerful. This is taking your key objectives and running them through the organization powerful. And it was just a slight thing. And I'm like, wow, Ron, you nailed it. Tell me that.
Yeah, so our 4 core objectives is taken again from Jim Collins around what do you stand for? What are you trying to accomplish with every decision you make? This goes back to early days, again, with the founder, and notes from him listening to I think the cassettes at the time, in the late 90s. And he wrote down a whiteboard, and I remember he was out like, what's that? Is a whiteboard, wasn't even hung up, and he had scribbled in his writing, revenue growth, customer service, employee satisfaction, and margin retention. And he just said, do those 4 things all day, every day. That's how you make decisions. And I don't think he ever hung up the board, and we turned it into what we called our 4 core objectives. And we started making decisions that way. And we started teaching that in the company. Like we want to do 4 things with every decision we make. We're a growth company, right? You gotta know who you are. Our goal is to grow double digits organically every year. So know that. Hire for it, train for it, execute on it. We want high margin business. That's why we're in the business we're in. For us, it means we're not going to do some desktop stuff that's like high call volume, low margin. We say no to that. Why? Because we know the margin business that we're in. It empowers our sales team. Clearly, say no to that, say yes to this. It empowers our clients. We don't do that, we do this, right? Clear. Employee satisfaction, culture, we turn to employee engagement now, right? And customer satisfaction, like #1 in the world. That's our goal. And so those are the 4 things that we want to do. And we've really taken that. And when he named me president, I was like, this is great. We're now going to sort of marketize it, put it on our posters, put it on our walls, talk about it in every meeting, teach it to every employee. And we all know that's what we're trying to accomplish. And that's how we try to, as we grow larger as a company, stay small. Meaning, like if you make a decision based on these 4 things, we're good. And by the way, even if you make the wrong decision, say it doesn't turn out right, but you walk me through, well, here's how would I thought. I love the thought process. At least we know what we're aiming at when it comes to actually running the business. It's been a powerful, simple tool that has scaled for the last 20 plus years here at the company.
Yeah, that's so beautiful. I love
and everyone can say them.
Yeah, I love that story because it walks the halls. You could be 1,000 employees and it's like, here are the 4 things.
That's right.
You have the autonomy to make decisions, make the decision around these 4 things.
And how many times, Joe, have you met with companies, I've done this, where you look at, what your vision or your mission or your core values or whatever, and you say, here's our 21 core things that we're going to do. And you go, 21? I can barely count to 21. How am I going to remember 21 different things? To me, if you can't repeat it, if I need to look it up, it's not impactful. If I can't, I used to do this when we first started doing that. I'd quiz people, be like, Joe, 4 core objectives, go. Company meetings, I'd be, Joe, what are they? Don't look, go. They needed to be like in memory and then live them out to do that. So in my mind, they've got to be simple, short, to the point, so you can execute on them. Have you ever had that experience?
Always. It's just like, the long mission statement and purpose, and it's like, it's not actionable.
That's right.
And it's interesting, Ron, that you say that. And again, you and I are going off a little bit, because most people look at that and they want to do that, put all that together, because to them that's action. I'm doing something.
That's right.
I'm doing something.
Yes.
I can't have just those 2 or 4. That's not enough. You know what I mean? How, it's like, no, that's all you should be doing, and everything will flow from that. Don't worry about it. You know what I mean? Yeah,
they're right here. If I take, well, where's the camera? They're right there. Our core value, our purpose, and our core objectives right here.
Yeah.
All on one little poster, 3 of those, that easy. And try to live them every day.